Good morning and welcome to the video version of the weekly Mettle Maker. For those of us who are new to this, for 283 weeks running, I have been posting on my blog, and now I'm trying to do them by video as well, a little bit of an extra training session for people that are interested in martial arts. And then probably, I want to say maybe a year ago, I began to add also things for people who are interested in pure fitness, interested in the Wildwood program, which is our free outdoor skills survival bushcraft program, and then also some spiritual stuff. So there's 4 aspects to the weekly Mettle Maker, and I've got it on my screen. I'm getting ready to post to the blog at heritageartsinc.com. So I'm just going to use this as a reference, and I'm going to walk you through the 4 bits. So this week's challenge is to face the self-defense and rescue fitness test. We're working on that all month at Heritage Self-Defense here in Richmond, Virginia. You can participate online. Go to the link in the description and go to the blog and share links to yourself doing the tests. Make videos, do whatever you want to do. Facing the test and posting your scores is not about showing off. It's not about any of that. If you look at some of the videos of us doing these things, which you'll see when you go to the blog, we're no great shakes, all right? We're not CrossFit champions, or we're not the, we're not Army Rangers. We're none of that. What I'm saying is that taking the test is about assessing yourself realistically. It's about taking off your rose-colored glasses and banishing your delusions. It's about knowing what your capabilities are and are not. So do it. What are the tests? Well, they're really cool. I'm not going to break them down here again in great detail. I'm just going to run through them real quick. A breath hold. You should be able to hold your breath for a minimum of 1 minute. You should be able to jump over your waist height. You should be able to do at least 1 pull-up, chin-up, or knee tuck. You should be able to complete a 200-yard sprint at top speed without taking any breaks. You should be able to do at least 50 sit-ups in 2 minutes. You should be able to do at least 10 hand release push-ups in 2 minutes. You should be able to perform 3 deadlifts of a minimum of 140 pounds. You should be able to transport an incapacitated buddy at least 25 yards. You should be able to complete a 25-pound sandbag run for at least 1/2 mile. And you should be able to submerge your arm in ice water up to the elbow and hold it there for at least 90 seconds. That's a basic pain tolerance test. So you're probably sitting there on the sofa or in your easy chair or what have you, saying, oh yeah, I could do all that. I challenge you to turn off this video, go take a video of yourself doing it, and then share how you did. Because until you do it, you do not know if you can do it. You can guess if you can know it. And then also there's the idea that you can do them all separately, but can you do them all in a row? Could you do them all if you had to survive? It takes probably, I want to say maybe a half an hour if you go through and you have to set up the equipment and everything else and measure the distances. It maybe takes an hour. Once you get a course set up or a plan, you can do it faster. But can you do all those things? What if you were in a self-defense or a rescue situation and you had to do all of those things in a 15-minute period? Well, test yourself. Stop making excuses and go do it. That's your self-defense and your fitness portion this week. For the Wildwood portion of the weekly Mettle Maker, I want to reinforce that the map is not the terrain. Sometimes you hear that expression, the map is not the territory. Now, you hear it a lot, and it's always used to express the dangers that are inherent in mistaking the representation of a thing with the actual thing. They're not the same thing. So I want to put this in a practical advice for you, and I give you a practical example. So up until a few weeks ago, I used to always make an excuse about getting lost in the city. I always get lost in the city. It happens to me all the time. I have to rely on my wife. I have to rely on GPS. And I used to always make the following excuse. This is how I phrased it, and it was not true. It was an excuse. I used to say, well, I never get lost in the woods, and that's because the woods interest me, and they're fun, and every tree is an individual, and every rock, and so therefore it's no problem. But when I'm in the city, I don't care about any of it. It's just all a big gray blob. Well, those things are true, but they don't excuse getting lost. Okay. So my wife and I go to Las Vegas, and we stayed at the Venetian. And if you've never been to the Venetian in Las Vegas, it's a compound. There's two towers. There's the Venezia Tower, and then there's the Venetian Tower, and it's a nightmare. It's this place is gigantic, and it's a maze. It's impossible. Now, my wife is an excellent navigator, and my wife always navigates for us because I always get lost in the city. So we're at the Venetian, and my wife can't find her way. I mean, she can't find her way any better than I can. And so it dawned on me. I got up one morning to go get coffee, and my wife was sleeping. I didn't want to wake her up. And I just engaged with the environment. And I had no problem navigating. And since that time, I figured out what I was doing before. So what I would do is I would offload my navigation. I did it when I was a kid. I trusted my mom and dad to navigate when we were in the car. I didn't pay attention. And I was still doing it. I was offloading navigation to my wife whenever I was with her. And then the second thing I was doing is when I was in the city, I navigated differently than when I was in the woods. When I was in the woods, I navigated instinctually by looking at my environment and being present in it. But when I was in an urban environment, I imagined myself on a map. I created a mental map, and then I imagined a little beep, 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 beep person walking through this map and tried to basically translate the urban environment into a mental map and then tried to walk it, which is pretty dumb. But that's what I realized that I was doing through a little bit of 5 minutes of self-analysis. So since that time, I haven't done that, and I've turned off the GPS. Once or twice I have used it when I was in a big hurry and I was going to a new area just because I didn't have the time to take the test. To test my actual skills. But since that time, I have been way, way better. And instantly, several times after that, when we were in Las Vegas before the trip was over, there were times that my wife got turned around and I was not. So instant movement from an F grade to a C minus grade right there in Las Vegas. And hopefully I can work my way up to an A plus grade in urban navigation. So don't mistake the map for the terrain, and watch yourself for when you do that, and you will find that that has a number of different applications in life and in your woodcraft skills. Now, finally, and if you want more tips and tricks and you'd like to have an outdoor skills program to help guide you through it, it's totally free. Go to heritageartsinc.com/learn and sign up. Now, the spiritual portion. Let's extend this a little bit. So let's imagine that we have two fictional people, and we'll call them Bill and Fred. And both of them have steady jobs. They both have no criminal record. They both have beautiful families, and are well loved by their wife and kids. The difference is that Bill behaves the way that he does because he believes that if he doesn't, he'll cease to be successful in life. He'll have a reduced income. He will lose the respect and admiration of his co-workers and his neighbors and his family members, and he'll be outperformed by his male peers. Okay? Fred, on the other hand, is deeply engaged in the act of living. He behaves the way he does because he believes, because he cares about his community. He deeply loves his family, and he wants to be the best human being that he can be. So you can't look at someone from the outside, and you can't look at yourself from the outside and say, I'm a good person. I got all the boxes checked. You have to, in other words, ask yourself, are you making a map of living and living to the map? Or are you engaged in the environment of living to its fullest extent? One might say that this is what what fulfillment means in life, being fulfilled. Now, I want to point you to a scripture, which is Matthew 17, Matthew 5:17. Jesus says, "Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them." Now, of course, many people interpret that scripture as Jesus saying that he's going to fulfill a prophecy, that he has come to fulfill a prophecy. Okay. Oftentimes the things that Jesus says in the Bible have multiple implications. Often they are true intellectually, emotionally, experientially, okay, as well as morally or ethically. So I want to challenge you to fulfill your life, to fill up the rules that you follow with the intellectual, emotional, volitional, and experiential truth. Okay? Engage. All right. That, kids, is the weekly Mettle Maker. If you enjoyed the Mettle Maker, share it, please. This is a nonprofit. I don't make any money on this. This channel is not monetized because I don't get enough views. If we could monetize it and make some money for the nonprofit, that would be great. So share the video. Go to heritageartsinc.com and donate some money to this nonprofit. It's tax deductible through Donor Box. And then the other thing I want you to do is come out, train with us. If you're in Idaho or Hawaii or Uzbekistan, make a video of yourself doing the tests, share, and comment. That kind of stuff pushes us up in the ranks. Thanks for visiting. Talk to you later. Bye.